Hi, this is Mark Simmons for the Oregon Grass Seed Bargaining Association with another little chat about the current goings on in the grass seed industry. There's, quite frankly, a lot of built-in dysfunction in our industry, which we could talk about for a long time. One is that there's no vision for what our industry can be in the future, and it's just every man for himself. It's a constant dogfight. And because of that, we all suffer and make less money. And quite frankly, that's what it's about. It's about making money from our grass seed crop and as it moves along into the market. We've never begrudged the dealers making money. Quite frankly, have constantly said in price negotiations, we need them to be profitable, but just not at our expense. So, because that's really what it's about at the end of the day. We want to be profitable so we can pass our farms on to our heirs. Now, the issue of the day really is the current slow pay, no pay law, which was enacted in about 2011. It has an interesting history. Prior to that, the law that was passed about 2001 said a dealer must pay by May 1 of the year following harvest unless otherwise agreed. And unless otherwise agreed, got crammed down growers' throats everywhere during the worldwide recession of 7, 8, and 9. And so that told us we need to be doing something differently. But the slow pay, no pay process, as it's currently structured in Oregon, how it works. A grower files a complaint. Now, let me back up just a bit. You don't have to get a lawyer. You don't have to do anything else. You just got to go to the Department of Agriculture and file a complaint. It is only enforced if a grower complains. Other than that, there's no enforcement. So a grower files a complaint with the Oregon Department of Agriculture alleging that he hasn't been paid. Well, the first thing they're going to do is tell you, well, send him an invoice because he may have just forgot. Mr. Dealer may have just forgot. So, and then the ODA reviews your paperwork for a valid complaint. If it looks like you have a valid complaint, then they ask the dealer for his information. And once that is established, that the dealer is back on payment, he hasn't paid on time, he has 30 days to pay. And that is not how it is being enforced by the ODA today. This is the first time this law has really been tested. And so we've kind of backed off a bit and let them kind of work their way along, but they are not following the law. And I'm just going to read part of it to you. This is Oregon Revised Statute, ORS 576.738. Okay? If a dealer hasn't made his payment on time, it says the department shall notify the seed dealer in writing that the dealer has 30 days to pay the producer or seed grower. 30 days, okay? It's already past May 1. They validated that that's a valid complaint, and the dealer then is notified he has 30 days to pay. And on down into paragraph 3, it says if a seed dealer fails to make payment as required by a notice given by the department under this section of the law, the department shall, and this is important, it doesn't say may, it said the department shall suspend any seed dealer license issued to that dealer until the dealer demonstrates to the satisfaction of the Oregon Department of Agriculture that he is current on all payments due to all producers and seed growers. So the way this is intended to work is if just one grower files a complaint, all growers that dealer is late on are due and payable right now. And the dealer's license is suspended until that is accomplished. Now, this came out of a work group. I was part of that work group in the legislature. We had dealers, we had growers, we had a number of big companies were all in the room helping craft this language. And we all agreed and came out and recommended that the legislature pass it. And it went through both chambers with only like 3 no votes. The intent is very clear. There's no equivocation. It is the department shall suspend the license until they've paid. So the current enforcement from the department is very lax. Very, very lax. And it's quite frankly undermining everything we've worked for. You know, the dealer's position this year, not coming to, excuse me, to the table to negotiate price, has some logic to it, because if the agreement means nothing, then why should they participate? If a dealer can come and participate in the process and agree to pay a certain price and then not pay that price, why should anybody participate? And quite frankly, all the other dealers did. They paid the negotiated price. And when you have a price, it has a major benefit for dealers just as much as it does for growers. It keeps us from having a race to the bottom like we're doing right now, and it provides an even playing field for dealers to operate from. Everybody is paying the same price to the growers, and then they can compete on value added, varieties, so on and so forth, instead of this, quite frankly, foolish race to the bottom. It brings stability to the industry. You know, for those who want to complain about AUGSBA and these prices that are set, you need to understand that it's a minimum price. It's not the price. It's a minimum price. You can get more for sod. You can do whatever, negotiate a little bit more if you provide more value. And just in closing, I would suggest that if you have a slow pay complaint or thinking about going ahead and filing one, because there's not a statute of limitations on it, I suggest you file a lien on the dealer that you have the complaint with for your crop. So there you have it. I'll be back in a couple days. Thank you.